more numbers inside here. And then I look at 23, 2, 3, 2, 2, and I look at that equation, and you look at the equation and say, well, how can that be done? There's a traditional process of doing it 23.
What is it, 23 times 22
22, and you can do it this way, and then it's a drawn out process. But I say that's a number 2. You look at number 2, just think of 2. So I think of 2 lines, that's 2 lines, and that's this one here is 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, so that's 2 lines and that's 3 lines. This one is 2 lines and that's 2 lines. And what you do from these 2 lines is you're looking outside the square. You know that it's going to end in, when you count the corners, each corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know that it'll end in 6, and then you discount that. Okay, so this represents, that represents the 2, that represents the 3, and that's the 2, and that's the 2. Those 2 lines. And so then what I do then is from here we add along 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. 4 we count on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we know that these things here, that's this one and that one there, that will make 10. You carry the 1, and then what we do is we do that one there, that's 4, and then that one is 5, and that just goes to show to kids and people that you've got to look outside the square. You have to look outside that.
There's a whole entire different way of doing things. Is
Yeah,
that right, Jeremy?
Exactly.
Is that sacred geometry, or just a different way of looking at things? That's
you have to not accept what's given to you in this realm. Don't accept that that's red or this is a house. It's only a house because we know it's a house, and that's the reality, that things aren't necessarily are real, really, because it's only our perceptions that are real.
Oh, it's just our perceptions. I see that's a very important point that humanity seems to need to know in order to not be boxed into.
Who made these things real to us?
Yeah,
who made these things real? This formula real, where you can do a formula very similar to that. That is real. 21 times, say, 24. The same thing. What's that equals? That's 2. 1, 2. That's 1. That's 2. 1, 2. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I put 4 down there. Then I add these 2 together. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I carry the 1. So I've done that out of the way. So there's 4, and there's 504. 504.
Now, does anyone want a scarf?
Not yet, no. So just goes to show that don't look at the things that we were taught. Or you can look at the things you're taught, but look at other things in this whole process, in this quantum field of infinite possibilities.
Well, Jeremy, what I hope to do is to take a few little videos of information like this and learn how to, do the editing and put them up on YouTube for education. Would it be all right if I used what you? You can
use everything. You can use anything that there is, and because information is always gaining, it's always free. Information is when you put your attention to something, you become attentive to that information, from silence. Chaos to silence, chaos then silence, and we need the silence of self, where you've got to have, in order to create something, you've got to have nothing. How stupid is that? But that's the way it is. They say, because then nothing becomes something.
Because your heart has listened to the information of the cosmic universe.
Your attentiveness to that
process, focus on it.
And then the attention and intention is the next sequence of science events that takes place in that process. And then there's chemicals, neuropeptides, there's endorphins and the serotonin, and there's the hypothalamus, the amygdala, all working all together with just one particular thought. And these activities are moving at the speed of light. And it's light because thought travels at the speed of light. I can be on Mars now, and I'm sitting on Mars. How quickly am I there? in this conscious
I think
reality.
you were even saying something about thought traveling faster than the speed of light, like
Well,
on the
well, it
wave
is.
of love.
It's traveling at a rate that we cannot even put a quantum measurement to it, because when you look at this process of seeing you is divine love, and that love is outside, and you could be in your car, I love you, and you can feel the love. So feeling travels with this process of thought, and this is a process of thought that goes through tunnels and buries through the other side of the earth, and creates and heals, because it's the love that is deep inside the spirit of this communication. It's a total different communication field. There's emotional intelligence, there's written intelligence. I've just shown you a bit of written intelligence which I received from someone who had a process of love to give me that information. And see, so love is always the key of a binary system that travels with that process. Speaking to you and speaking on this camera is love, because I want to share my love to someone, and that's what it's all about.
That's what I'm feeling. I can feel that, and I know that.
And I'm safe to do that. If I wanted to have hate, I'd have hate. We had every wars that we took place. We had a war in the world. There was wars all over the world, and after every war we went through, after the war we go through a pandemic. We go through an emotional, a physical, a pandemic. The First World War, the Second World War, George Bush's war, we have this new disease that's killing people just after the war. When the war says that we're going to stop war, then our bodies begin to unwind, and then all of a sudden we've got swine flu that's taking people out right around the world. So war isn't there to end all wars. You know, there's this other field that's happened that takes place. We pay the karma, we pay the dharma.
We do.
We're paying karma for
Well,
things.
it's my contention that we're moving into a new cycle, which the Aztecs call the sixth sun.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a cycle of harmony and balance. And the way that the things that we're talking about now, about wars and the pandemics, aren't really going to be part of what the way the people operate anymore, because they're going to be not by working by force, they're going to be working through their heart, through love, through some of these things that you've opened our eyes to.
Because love
And
speaks.
it seems like we're right on this crest of moving into a change. And we won't even have to really worry about wars. Everybody praying for peace will probably be, what is that? That's got to affect the heart, as you were saying, and the mind consciousness.
Exactly. Because love is a thing that's it's motivated from within self, in the opulent and the authentic self. There's the authentic self, which we hide from the world. We put these objects in front of us, and they're all everywhere in front of us. And you know, my mobile phone has got it's got an amazing ringtone, or we hold all these things, and we put that in the way. But when we let go of all these things, the universe will give you whatever you need. If I'm holding on to all my emotions like this and there, can the universe give me anything? It cannot. So when I let go of what I've got, my hand is free to ask the divine for what I need.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
The more I let go, and the more I become oneness in my silence, the universe is then providing me with this pure state of conscious energy. I'm open. But if I'm holding all these things and saying, this here, this is so important to me because it's important. Let me show you the technology. It's so important to me because it has all my contacts, all my people that are on here that are my friends or whatever, and it's just an object.
Oh, that's your phone.
Object referral, and it means so much, you know. If I put it in the thing, I'll be devastated, or someone steals it. People will be devastated, but we don't need to. We can just put it down. It's not there anymore. You know, it's only attentive.
It makes when you put it down, then as you say, it makes room for
free.
something else. You become
Something
free, and something else can come in.
My phone dropped in the water. It was the best thing that ever happened because the old phone went in the water, inside the water, and while it went into the water, it destroyed every bit of the memory of the phone. That was the best experience I've ever went through. But I had to go through the inertia of the loss and pain and the grief, which hit me, which I went in to look at it, and I was grief stricken because it went into the water. But everything that went into the water was just pure emotions. But it was only what I put my attention to. And then the best thing is, I went out and bought a brand new phone.
That's
You know
great.
what I mean? So it was motivated me to get a new phone, but at the same time, I looked differently at and my contacts and people. It doesn't bother.
I
have
had
to
that
let go
happen
of
in
reality.
another way. I knew that I needed a new car, but I was so attached to, he had a particular name, the old car. I didn't want to put him down, so then I had a little accident and had to get a new one.
Yeah, it takes you into a different field of possibilities.
So yeah, so that, I mean,
Everything-
it's interesting what you're saying.
And
there.
thoughts are like the hooks in our brain, and you put you program your thoughts on the computer, and you put love, and you'll see the word love there. And that love is the feeling of love is where it's going to take you. But that you're not going there. It's taking you. You see?
Wow, so your consciousness is flowing on that energy of love.
You can't explain that. It's sort of, I suppose in a sense, in our human terms, because when we put our attention to love is just the word love. The other processes in the universe comes together, and then what happens, the abundance of processes of love comes to you. But it takes you on that journey, because you've, again, like the phone dropping in the water, you let go. I've released.
Mm-hmm.
When there was so much pain that I saw someone crying in a primal state of consciousness, in the primal process, and when you have cried, deep cried within your loss, you have nowhere else to go. You have nowhere else to go. It is it's the epitome of greater understanding, because when you have nowhere to go with your pain, comes abundance, because the universe comes in the inertia that takes over, and you begin to have an epiphany of greater understanding, because the pain is so great within me that I have nowhere to go but to fall. And when I fall, what happens is the process of the universe unfolds, and it takes over, and we have everything, because it's like the brand new day that occurs. For every new day, from chaos, from nothingness, it takes us to nothingness, to reality consciousness.
Well, thank you for that wonderful conversation. We'll have to pick that up again because it was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.